Tennessee Tech head coach Dewayne Alexander, the Golden Eagles fell 24-21 at Southeast Missouri. That was one of three OVC games that came down to 3 points or less. This week they'll be home. They'll be hosting Tennessee State in a key Sergeant York Trophy game. So, Coach, just thoughts on your team, and then we'll go into some questions.
Well, first of all, thoughts on the Golden Eagle. I'm very proud of the Golden Eagles. I'm proud of our football team. We continue to fight hard. We're playing very hard. We're certainly anybody that's watched all the Golden Eagle games. They've been exciting. The scoreboard outside of the first week against Austin Peay, has not gone our way. But I can tell you, we've been in every single ball game. Every single game we played has been a four-quarter game with opportunities to win the game in the fourth quarter. We're like a lot of teams right now. We're battling a lot of injuries and dealing with some COVID protocols, though that has improved the last couple of weeks. We still are, trying to put a consistent lineup out there every week, especially offensively. We've struggled offensive line-wise, consistently having a starting five. We did have more guys back this past week, and our offensive production, did show that. And running back wise, Jordan Brown, our fourth string walk-on running back from Oakland High School, is a true freshman, came in and really played outstanding. He was, been practicing good, and we put him on the travel squad, and then he ends up getting in the game and was played outstanding, in the football game, scored 2 touchdowns. So it was exciting, to see that. Willy Miller, Bailey Fisher's re-injured his shoulder, or tweaked it a little bit in the Eastern Illinois game. He took a couple of shots. There's a point, his injuries to his throwing shoulder. We don't want to get anything else. It just doesn't make sense at this point. We have 2 football games left, and with the injury to his shoulder, it is one that would progress without any surgery. He just needs time to heal. Willie started for us, and Willie will be our starter the next 2 weeks. And Willie has gotten better each week for his second college start. He played well. He took care of the football. He did have a fumble down on the 10-yard line, but interceptions, he did not throw an interception. He ran the ball well. He threw the ball well. I thought he had an outstanding game. Hats off always to Coach Tuke. His bunch the same way. They're a lot like ours. They're not playing with all their guys they originally started with, but they're playing hard and going to compete every week. It's always a tough place to go and play. And it's a tough place to play because of Coach Tuke and really the culture he's built with his football team there. We knew that going in, and our guys competed hard to get down 21-0 and to come back. And, we made it 21-14 at halftime. We really, the second, third, and fourth quarter, we won 21-3. But we gave up the 21 points early in the game. We missed a field goal in the third quarter that was big. We had 11-play, 50-yard drive in the third quarter that we'd had a chance to either tie the game or cut it to 21-17. We missed the field goal. SEMO ended up getting a field goal in the second half. Like I said, we held them to 3 points the last 3 quarters of the game. But again, just too many mistakes and things. We got a lot of young guys playing, like a lot of people. And when you have young guys playing, there's going to be some mistakes made, but our guys are fighting hard. They're playing hard. Morale is still good here. We're disappointed. Yeah, we're hurt. Yes. Nobody more than myself, having been a former player and coach here, it always hurts and disappoints when the scoreboard don't go our way. But I can tell you it's close. I really feel like the best is yet to come for our program. I know that it is. We're getting real close. We're going to keep digging. We're going to keep scratching. And, the positive thing we have here to finish the season, you made mention of it, the Sergeant York Trophy. We are 1-0 right now in the Sergeant York Trophy standings. We have 2 opponents coming up that are both Sergeant York games. TSU here at home. It will be Senior Day. We've got some outstanding seniors that we're going to recognize that are going to be playing in their last 2 football games and playing in their last home game this Saturday. And then we have the Sergeant York Trophy on the line, and we have an opportunity right now with wins. If we can find a way to beat TSU and beat UT Martin, we have an opportunity to win the Sergeant York Trophy, with a 3-0 record in that standing. So that's certainly a great incentive to play for. And it's always an honor to get to play for that. We're still hanging in there. We're going to practice tonight. We had a long bus trip back we played a 2:00 game, got home about 11 11:15, 11:30 Sunday night. Gave our guys just a day in the weight room to watch film. We're going to practice tonight at 7:30 and get ready for the TSU Tigers.
Coach Took earlier during his time, he went out of his way to talk about Willy Miller and that performance. So I just wanted to elaborate, where has he grown the most now that he's been forced into, being the starter, and how's that help you in the fall when you have him and a healthy Bailey Fisher?
Oh, it helps us a ton. I mean, you can win football games with Willy Miller. You can win championships with Willy Miller. He's an outstanding player. You've always got to have, there shouldn't be a big drop off at any position. That's one thing this whole spring season's done. You've had some guys that have gotten thrown into action. We have played a lot of second and third string guys, but really they're not second and third string. I've told all our guys, you got to practice like a starter, and you may be thrust in that role, in the middle of the week of practice. It may be on a Friday afternoon you find out you're going to start. It may be after the first quarter of the game, where we've had an injury and you're going to have to go in and play. And Willie, his first time going in was against Jacksonville State when we're in a dogfight of a game in the third quarter, and that's the first time he had to go in and play. And the biggest area that he's made strides is his just his overall command of the huddle, his command of the offense, his just being able to do all the things you got to do as a quarterback. There's a lot of decision-making things, a lot of things you have to compute, the formation, the play, get that communicated to the team, and then understand, hey, where my eyes need to be, what my read is, what I need to do here. He has gotten much better, from week to week. He went from the game that he played against Murray State, where he played really outstanding in that game, but he made some, he had 4 turnovers in the game, just himself alone. And that's 4 that you can't have at that position. He was much better this week with only 1 turnover that came on a fumble, and they did a nice job of taking the ball away from him. He kind of got gang tackled there, and they took it away. He's got to continue to grow in handling and how he protects the football when he's in the pocket, making sure he gets an extra hand on that when he has to start moving around. He has a bad habit of taking the ball away from his body, and so he's got to learn to protect it better, and he sees that and understands that. And, he missed a couple of reads in the game, but I thought for his second start, I don't think we could have asked, for a better performance. From Willie, it was good to get our run game going. We averaged almost 5 yards a carry in the game. If you would have told me going into the game that we would rush for almost 200 yards and we would hold a SEMO to 89 yards rushing and only 2.9 yards a carry, I would tell you, and the turnover battle was the same. They turned it over once and we turned it over once. I would have told you we'd have had an outstanding chance to win the game, and we did. We had a chance to win the football game. We gave up a couple of explosive plays defensively that we've not been giving up early. Coach Took talked about Willy Miller. I'm going to talk about Andrew Bunch. He played outstanding. They weren't able to get their run game going like they wanted to at times, and he made some big play action. They're such a good running football team. They were very effective on their play action. They hit us on a couple of play action passes that that were just big plays that we gave up. And so he played outstanding in the game. He was very efficient. He did a nice job. He did not throw any interceptions. He did a good job of running their offense. And it was really, if you look at the statistics in the game, it was a dead even game. I mean, we had the ball almost 36 minutes of the game. We just had 2 drives we didn't finish. We fumbled on the 10-yard line and we missed a field goal. And really, when it's all said and done, those were the 2 scores that were the difference in the game.
You alluded to TSU being your opponent, and just looking at their stats, rushing, they rushed for 160 and 204 yards the last 2 games. It seems like their offensive line's playing good. They have a freshman running back. Thoughts on what you've seen from them on film?
Well, just, they're always physical up front now. Coach Russ Ernfeld, Russ used to coach here back in the day. I know Coach very well, don't Russ very well. He's an outstanding offensive line coach. They always have NFL type offensive linemen, and always very, very good skill players. And that's no different. Their quarterback certainly has a really good arm. I've been very impressed with him. Starling, I've been very impressed with running back. They have a couple of backs, that come in there and run. They're a physical presence running the football. They ran it well against UT Martin. And so, we know that that's going to be a big part. Similar situation we faced last week at SEMO, a team that can run the ball well, and then they can play action and throw the get the ball down the field and certainly have guys that can go get it. So it's all going to start there. We're going to need to be able to establish some run, and we're going to need to be able to stop their run game. In this game, it's a matchup that I see. I think the teams that can do that the best is certainly going to have an upper hand in this game.
I asked one of the other coaches about this, but you referenced a missed field goal, but your kickers had a 50-plus yard field goal this year. Tennessee State's kicker has, Murray State's kicker has. It seems like kickers in the OVC are just playing really good this year. Just thoughts on some of these kicks and how important they are, since every game is close, basically.
Well, they are. You look at every game, it's been a field goal type game. Our game was 24-21, 36-31. We've had some close games. So certainly your special teams, games that we've been, our thing is our team, we've been occasionally great, but we hadn't been consistently good. That would be the best way I would put it. Every now and then we look like a really, really good football team. I mean, you can put on a series of clips of offense, defense, or special teams, and we look, really, really good. We look like a team that could be top 2 or 3 in the conference. And then you've got some other clips where we look like we haven't practiced or coached or done anything. I mean, we look awful. And so and I think every team is consistency when you've got guys, not consistently, they're in and out of the lineup, all the time and those type of things. And people will tell you it's been tough to try to, get your special teams during preseason camp, the normal walkthroughs and opportunities you had to do with special teams and your team in general, we did not have. And so we've been inconsistent on special teams. But Hayden Olson, our freshman kicker, has done outstanding. The kicker at TSU is the best one in the country, in my opinion. I don't know if there's a better kicker in the country than him. I haven't seen him. He is outstanding, outstanding kicker. He kicks off well. He can make field goals from anywhere on the field. They cross midfield. They're getting into scoring range, and that is always a weapon when you have security of getting points if you can get the ball, across midfield in that red zone area, and knowing that you have points for sure. It really helps you offensively in some of your decision making that you have to make. But there's certainly be some outstanding kickers in the league, and we're playing the best one this week. So we know field position will be we know field position in this game. We're going to have to drive the football, and we're going to have to do some things special teams wise in the return game or something to have a chance to flip the field position.
Well, Coach, appreciate your time this morning. Best of luck on Saturday. We'll talk to you again next week.
Okay. Thank you.